Fish have eyelids.
The ocean is a soup.
Bro, don't do this. I saw that last night. Bro, what do you classify as a soup? It's got a broth, It's got vegetables, maybe some meat, and oh my god,
the ocean is a soup.
The ocean is a soup.
I'm keeping that in. On that note, what's going on, everyone? We're terrible podcasters. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You are now tuned in to episode 34 of the In-Game Grind podcast, the greatest gaming podcast on this clairvoyant plane of existence and the next. Before we get into it today, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, and if none of that is your jam, just have a damn good Wednesday and Friday. What's going on, everyone? As always, I am your host, Jay, and joining me is my friend, my homie, one of the fortunate few who chose to play Cyberpunk on PC, so is actually enjoying his experience. Chris, tell the people what's going on.
Oh, that's good. I'm hiccuping because I just had a Snapple.
But before we get into today is the Christmas episode. If you're listening to the audio version, this will be coming out on December 23rd, and if you're watching the video version on YouTube, this will be Christmas. So happy holidays, and if not, whatever. At least you got a gift from us is an episode of the podcast for y'all. But
Merry Christmas. Have a happy New Year. Chill out with your superpowers. And stay woke.
And good luck trying to snag a new console with your stimulus. But but today's episode, we were just gonna talk about just like a more chill episode. Like we've been like having to jump on these companies' necks as of late because they kept doing dumb shit. But and we're gonna do that a little bit today. But after that, we are going to just talk about some lighter shit, like Christmas memories when it comes to gaming and shit like that. And that sounds all good and well, but before we could do that, CD Projekt Red.
All work and no play makes a good podcast.
So just real quick, in case y'all didn't know, people are have filed a class action lawsuit against CD Projekt Red for Cyberpunk, basically misinterpreting the capabilities of Cyberpunk 2077 when it came to last gen consoles. If you don't understand what a class action lawsuit is, it's basically when a large group of people have the same grievance against one entity, and grouping them all together into one big case makes it easier to get into court than it does millions upon millions of people having the same grievance and having to settle them all individually. Plus, it gives more validity to the case. So basically, a lot of people are saying you lied about the performance of this game, the fidelity of this game on last-gen consoles, and despite the fact that you're offering refunds, we want money back. So CD Projekt Red, I really hope the Christmas bonuses hasn't come out yet, because you probably gonna need them. Your lawyer's gonna get a pretty nice Christmas bonus though. But yeah, man. Honestly, it sucks. Like, you never want to. We were joking about it, like CD. We were joking about Cyberpunk is a legitimate PC exclusive. You can only play it on PC.
Yeah, like no, that's not to say that I have not experienced my fair share of problems. I've had crash issues, which is very rare. I feel like in the times I've played it, I've only had I think in a grand total, I've had 4 crashes since I've had the game.
With how many hours?
See, okay, so if I pull it up, I have put in 94.4 hours in this game. I'm currently on my second playthrough. I've only had one Italian mafia whack job where I started my car and the car exploded. Flatline.
So 4 crashes and 1 death bug.
Yeah, I haven't had any glitches that have messed up my game. I think I've had a few where I park my car and then a car spawns underneath it.
Yeah.
Um, but that's really it. Like, I haven't really had an issue with the game itself.
I think we should also preface this by saying you're also not playing on like a creme de la creme PC either.
Yeah, no, like mine's good. It's nothing to snuff at, but like I'm not playing on ultra. I'm playing on high. Like all of my settings are high. I think I'm playing. I know my V-Sync's on. I think I have it like capped at like 80 frames.
Yeah,
and I really think that's it. Like, there's nothing special about it. I'm not running on like 4K. My resolution's like 2K at best.
Because I saw a tweet where somebody was like, I don't understand why PC gamers gloat about their $2,000 PC being better than my $500 console. And it's like,
well, one, because it typically is, but I mean,
how much did your PC was $750, right?
I think at the end of it, I think with like the bundles that we saved, I think it was probably close to like $800, like $750 to $800.
Yeah, but it's like, it's not that much more than a console, and you've done a lot more with it than you could with a console.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like, I think my PC is like a console with probably it would be like equivalent of like the PS4 Pro or like the Xbox One X, like the scaled up version of a regular console, and then I got like a pair of controllers and a headset. Like, if I had spent all that money and got a console, that's what I got out of a PC.
You already had all your
better.
games are backwards compatible.
Yeah,
because they're on PC. But yeah, we just wanted to address the Cyberpunk thing. Like, it sucks. It sucks for current gen. It sucks. I really do understand why a lot of the last gen or people with last gen consoles are upset, because you say that for CD Projekt Red to come out and say we didn't spend enough time on the last gen. It's like, you've had this game in development for 8 years, almost 12 years, or no, 8 years. Was 8 years not a?
it was 8 years. It was.
Was it not long enough? It was.
Yeah.
It was announced at, I think, E3 of 2012.
Yeah,
and it's like, damn, was that not enough time? But I honestly would have preferred them to just come out and say, like, look, we've had the PlayStation 5 developer kit for like 6 years.
Yeah.
Or, well, nah, because the PlayStation 4 didn't come out till like 2013.
I would have rather had just a little bit more time, honestly. I think that would have just been better.
And it's just one of them things. It's like, you were willing to push it back so you didn't collide with 7 Remake. Then you were willing to push it back because the game wasn't ready. And then you pushed it back again because the game
wasn't optimized
for everything. And it's still not. So what did you do? Like, what changed in the time that you pushed it back to the release? I do think this was discourse within like the company. I think the devs were probably saying we need more time. And you got people like marketing that's like, we don't have more time.
Yeah.
But again, like, we've always asked the question, why do you put a date on your game before it's finished? And I mean, of course, it's kind of a rhetorical question, because we know why, right? Like, the people who hold stock in the company, or the shareholders, they care about their quarterly shit. So
it also produces a sort of hype behind the game, and it also drives sales up, because the further out a game is, a lot of people will just outright pay the full price, or they get the collectors, or they get the the special edition, so they have time to either pay it off, or they just pay it off, right? But it also gives time to like build up that money, so when inevitably launches, it starts at the launch, it's like, oh yeah, we made like $1 million, or like $30 million our first launch day.
We always talk about, like, is this the worst launch we've seen in gaming?
No.
Really?
I don't think so.
I think so.
I think
it can be justified as the worst based solely on the fact of how much marketing was behind this.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with you on that one. We We got Keanu Reeves.
Yeah,
Like
you
Keanu Reeves is a
got
part of the game, but like you can't market Keanu Reeves, and everyone knows Keanu Reeves is like the most wholesome person in the world, and like you can't market it. Like, yeah, Keanu Reeves is in the game. Check this out. Like,
yeah.
like the
don't
whole breathtaking thing, like that jumped everything up.
You became the darling of gaming, but don't forget the fact that they released 2080 Ti's, Cyberpunk 2077 2080 Ti's that you could buy, and they were given away that would come with a copy of the game, right? All over my YouTube feed, the day Cyberpunk came out was just Cyberpunk PC builds, like retro, yellow, teal, red and blacks, like samurai logo, you know, Cyberpunk. Yeah. Like every other commercial I see still is Cyberpunk.
Amazon advertised the samurai Johnny Silverhand jacket that you see in the trailers and like in the cover. That green like army style jacket with the blue collar on the inside. Yeah, Amazon advertised that to me, and I want it.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like a game recently that came out with an equally bad or launched probably Anthem, and Anthem was bad, but Anthem was bad because it didn't work, and because when it did work, there was nothing to do. And on top of that, like they didn't spend like millions upon millions of dollars hiring Hollywood actors and all these other people to promote the game. Yeah. Like, I don't know. My advice to anyone, if you're on a last gen console, don't even think about Cyberpunk.
Okay? Not for a while.
No. Like they said they'll do the updates for last gen. Don't even hold your breath. If you like legitimately want to play Cyberpunk, you better find a PC, capable PC. If you're on current gen, you could play it. It's still gonna have some of them issues. Like, I'd hate to break it to y'all, and I'm not trying. I know it's gonna come off like an elitist and all that shit, but this was a game for once that was built to run great on PC and was ported to console. And I don't feel bad saying that, because we usually get the exact opposite. We usually get a game that was built for PlayStation or built for Xbox, and then whatever fucking stupid ass port that they just decide to roll off to PC, that's how it is. We dealt with it with old games like Persona 4 Golden. We deal with it with new games. Like, we deal with it all the time. So it is a little odd to see it, the other way around for once, but we know how it feels, and it's just the way it is. But enough of that depressing shit. It's supposed to be the holiday episode. So, Chris?
Yeah.
What would you say is one of the best video game related Christmas gifts you've ever gotten?
I would have to say it was when I got my first PS3. And the reason I say that is, was it a PS3? I might be lying, because that might be my birthday. But it's interesting because my birthday is in January, so it's like right around the corner for me. But my mom had bought me a PS3, and at the same time Rock Band 3 came out.
Oh wow.
And so she had bought me a PS3 and Rock Band. But she did that Jimmy Kimmel thing, or the whatever, where they make a fake box for it.
Oh essentially. My
god. She had waited until I was back from school. Was like, hey, I got something for you. It's in the living room. Open it up. There is a PS3 box and a guitar for Rock Band. It was the second guitar.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, this is cool, but I don't have the system. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. You know what? I forgot to buy it. Let's go to, this is how jaded this is. Let's go to Toys R Us and we'll go pick it up. I was like, bet. So I go into my room. She had set it up. All of it. She had set up the PS4 or the PS3, and all of the like the game, all of the drums, the guitar, the mic, and she had bought like a mic stand for it, all up in my room, and it was like the coolest thing ever. It was also the saddest thing ever because I I didn't have any friends. I didn't have any friends to play it with at the time. And it's funny because it wasn't until Rock Band 4 came out that I had friends to play with, but I just kept all my instruments and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably like one of my hypest.
I also feel that pain because like I've always wanted to play. Like I was a Guitar Hero kid, but I always liked
Yeah.
Rock Band because it was the multiplayer aspect. But like I never saw a point in getting all the instruments because I was like, no one's gonna come over and fucking play. But you tell me that story and it's funny. Your mom definitely got you a PS5. Now after you told me that story, I was like, yeah, she definitely got this nigga a PS5.
I'm worried. Like I'm legitimately worried. And
Why?
Because like, okay, for clarification, when November started, there were talks about how it was going to be near impossible to get a console because there were going to be so limited numbers.
Right.
In the beginning, I was actually trying to get one. You know, like me and Jamie had put aside a little money for it. Like we were, actually trying to get one. But at the same time, my mother was trying to find one, and one of her coworkers was trying to find one. And so we're like trying to coordinate and see if we can maybe we can find like an X to mark the spot to see if we can grab one.
Yeah.
Obviously couldn't. I told her, hey, I gave up on it. It's cool. I'll just wait till like March. That'll be like when they're decent in stock. It's after the rush. No one's gonna really want one in March. Fast forward this morning. I'm helping my mom out with some stuff because she's mailing off a bunch of Christmas cards to her friends and family. And she goes, yo, are you and Jamie coming by for Christmas? And I was like, we probably are. It's a weird time and we kind of want to be around family. She's like, well, none from that. I think I did pretty well for your birthday or your Christmas gift. Like, I think you're gonna be really, really impressed with it. She's like hyping up this gift. And so I'm like, okay, that's cool. Thanks. You don't really need to get me anything because I told her to get me like underwear and socks. I legitimately told her that. I did that last year, did that the year before, because I've just gotten to the point as an adult. If I want a video game or something related, I just buy it myself. But what I always forget to buy is underwears and socks.
Yeah.
Because, you just think in yourself, I've got to find that amount. And if I just keep washing, I don't have to worry about it. But eventually, you'll get to a point where you're just like, is my dryer or my washing machine eating my socks and underwear? You feel like they're either running out or they're disappearing.
Yeah.
But so this is the one time I'm like legitimately worried that like she got me a PS5. And it's not that I'm worried like, I didn't want a PS5. I wanted an Xbox. Like it's just one of those like, I'm going to be super appreciative whether it is or it isn't.
Yeah.
Because my mother didn't need to get me anything. Like I even told her, it's like, don't get me anything. Times are really crazy right now. Like just focus on yourself. If you really want to give me something. I think I even said, get me a gift card to a grocery store so I can get groceries easier. I don't know. Like I turned like 22 and I was just like, hey, don't buy me anything fun. I'll buy that for myself. Buy me like gas. You want to get me anything? Pay a bill for me. Like,
I do think that's interesting, right? Because like when I think I first discovered that, like, I believe I was 15. I think I was 15 when I got my first job, right? And the whole premise of it was I was still in high school. So for those of you that don't understand how this works, in Texas, high school football is not a sport. It is a way of life and a religion.
No shit. Football in Texas is a way of life.
So I was very focused on like getting a scholarship, getting to like a decent school, go in for free, somewhere I could play and do all that. So I would spend my whole summer training, like working out every day and stuff like that, working out in the heat, getting my body ready. If you ready, somebody else ain't gonna be ready, and you'll have the advantage. But around my junior year of high school, no, I guess I was 16 then. Yeah, my junior year of high school, I got a job. And actually, no, it was like this was sophomore year. So I got a job, and the whole premise was, look, you got a car, you're in high school now. I used to spend the summers at like in elementary school and shit. I used to spend summers at my grandma's house, just doing nothing, legitimately just doing nothing, just watching TV because both my parents were working.
Yeah.
But in high school, it's like, damn, I can drive now. I have all this obligatory stuff that I'm a part of now. You're doing football. You got friends you want to hang with. You know, there's other stuff you want to do. And it kind of made me realize, like, damn, I need money. You know, and my dad basically sat me down and he's like, dude, I don't have the money to fund like a summer of shit for you to do. You're grown now. So like I can actually hook you up and get you a job. And he was like, look, I can't tell you what to do with the money that you work for. So if you want a job, you can take it. So I took it. You know, I'm somebody I was like, this was at a young age, my first time ever having like my own money. Cause I remember when I first got my car, like it was not a banging car by any stretch of the imagination. To this day, I'll never forget my face when my dad first pulled it up. My dad, bless his soul, he flew from Dallas all the way to Albuquerque, New Mexico to go pick it up from my uncle and drove it all the way back. And I'll never forget, he said it was the smoothest ride of any car he's ever been in. And he did it all on 2 full tanks of gas. That shit was crazy. It was a 1994 emerald green Toyota Camry.
Emerald green?
Emerald green. And it had like a crater in like the driver's side, like the back of near the rear of the driver's side door and the front of the driver's side passenger door. Or rear passenger door. It was like a dent in it from like when it was a wreck. When I got it, there was like a bunch of food bags and shit in it because I got it from one of my cousins who just wasn't treating it right. I even found like a small residue of marijuana in it. But I cleaned it out, right? And I got this car. The first thing I did in it, I went to GameStop. Because and look, driving to the GameStop that's 5 minutes away from my house is not like something crazy, right? But to me it was at the time, because as a kid it's like, hey, can we go to GameStop so I can just see something?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was hard enough. Like every week my mom as a kid would take me with her when she'd be grocery shopping, and I would go to the game section and I would just be in awe looking at the games. Like this was back when, like, I guess they still do it nowadays, but they don't do it as like they used to, where they had all the demos set up where you can play the games.
They do still have them, but because of COVID, they don't do them anymore.
But it's like, you know, it was crazy for me to just be able to go to GameStop by myself because I wanted to. And it's like you said, right? Like the magic of getting a game for Christmas or somebody buying you a game, it's kind of gone. I haven't felt that in years, because I haven't felt that since I was like maybe 17, and I'm 24. Because, you know, like you said, I get an email every day. Hey bud, just want to let you know, 10 games on your Steam wish list are on sale. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'll pick this one up, and then it's just, you know, I've bought maybe 8 games this month, or I've bought about 8 games since the Black Friday sale on Steam, and I don't think I've played any of the games that I've bought yet. Like if I want to buy a game, I'll buy a game. Like it's not a
habit. Just to basically have it.
Yeah, like I'll eventually play it. Like it's just, I want to own it. I will eventually play it. But like, but I guess back to the story. Like for me, I enjoyed I enjoyed doing stuff for me, basically. You know, it was like, I said I wasn't going to start dating. I said I wasn't going to take dating serious until I got a car. I wasn't going to take none of that shit serious until I got a car, right? So you get all that shit, and it's like, I got my own money. I got my own car. If a game come out, it's only $60, I'll get it. If a new system come out, it's only like $300-$400, I'll get it. But nowadays, it's like, you know, I tell my parents same shit. Like, if you just feel obligated to get me something, give me a gift card or something. Give me like a Amazon gift card or something, or I don't fucking know. Like, I think one of the coolest Christmas gifts I ever got, and it wasn't even that great. It was just like the experience of it was the Wii.
Yeah, no, yeah.
The weirdest thing about the Wii, right, is like, I don't know what marketing genius they had for the Wii. I did not ask for a Wii.
I think I asked for one, and the funny thing was, I did the thing how they tried to market the Wii U.
Yeah.
Where it was a family console.
Yeah.
I did that one time, and then it's like the commercials heard what I was trying to do and were like, hey, say less. We got you. And it was like every time a Nintendo Wii commercial came on, they're like, fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
Get it? Go bowling. And it's like, do this. Do boxing. Get ready for the newest Smash Bros. And the newest Mario Kart. And it was just like, I didn't do any work. It was there under the tree. And I put time into that thing. Like, I remember when it did, my Wii actually did have a break. There was something wrong with the motherboard or something where it just stopped working. And my mom was upset, not because she bought it, but because she was actually putting time into it.
Yeah.
And so when she sent it off to Japan to get it fixed, she was like kind of looking at the clock, like, it's supposed to be back now. Like, so it's not a Christmas memory, but it's a memory that I remember when I was in high school. Kid Icarus had just come out, and I'm online right now, and I'm looking at it. It came out March 22nd, 2012. 2012, not 2012. But I remember, I think I was off that day when it came out. It was either I was off or it was like a weekend. I asked my mom, I had paid this game off, right? Man, I used all my money for my birthday to go ahead and pay it off because I knew I had to have it. It was for the 3DS. This was the original 3DS, and it came with a stand. So you would set your 3DS on it so you could do it, you could hold it properly because you needed to use the screen to move the camera, the control stick to move. Man, it was bee's knees of hardware right there. And I brought this up to my mother, and she didn't realize she did this either. But I was like, "Hey, Mom, can you drive me to GameStop? I want to pick up this game that I already paid it off and everything. I'm literally just walking in, picking it up, walking out." And she was like, "No, if you really want it, you can go get it yourself." So I walked my black ass.
That's crazy.
To GameStop, which was probably, I would say, the 3 mile trek. The GameStop between me and the one on Broadway, between my mom's house. Yeah, it was a solid like maybe 2 hour walk.
Wow.
I was there on my skateboard, rolled the way there, picked up my game, took the bus back home. That was the quickest bus ride. I brought this up to my mother. This was maybe like a couple months ago. I brought this up and I was like, "Can you believe that you did this?" And she's like, "What do you mean? I'd never do something like that." And I was like, "No, your words were, I'm too tired. It's too early. I'm not taking you to GameStop. If you really want that game, you will find a way to go get it." I didn't have a car. I couldn't drive.
Skate or die.
Skate or die. And she's like, "You know what? I do vaguely remember you asking me to go to GameStop for something, and you came back a few hours later and said you didn't need to go to GameStop anymore. I just thought you went to one of your friend's house." And I was like, "No, I straight up grabbed my board, hit the bricks. It was hot." But no, like I honestly can't think of too crazy. You know what? No, because that was a birthday gift. It's really weird because my birthday and my Christmas memories kind of merge together because they're so close together.
Yeah.
But like a lot of my Christmas and birthday gifts, I remember. It was my 3DS when I got that.
Yeah.
That was really hot because I was trying to get it. Like I was trying to save up for it, but it was just like every time I had the money for it, I had to put my money to something else.
Yeah.
And man, when I tell you, I got the Cosmic Black 3DS, like the original tiny little brick one. Man, I was so excited. And that was when it was cool to have a DS in your pocket in school. Man, those when street passes were important. Like street passes were important, and you'd want to pick up as many people as you wanted. So you'd always have it on in your pocket, so you'd be passing people in the hallway. And then just like thinking about this is like flooding memories back. I remember taking my 3DS into community college and thinking, "Yo, I'm about to make friends.
Yeah,
we gonna play Pokemon. And then Smash came out for the 3DS, and that's when the world blew up.
Yeah,
because they're like, "Yo, mobile Smash!" Like, man, bad. Like Nintendo's been a lot of my memories. I remember one time, my mother bought me Baldur's Gate 2. For my PlayStation 2. And it's funny because me and my wife Jamie were talking about this. Baldur's Gate 2, Dark Alliance, you could take all the armor off your characters and have them walking around in like skimpy little like cloth.
Yeah.
So I'd run around as a girl in fucking skimpy little cloth and fight monsters, and then my mom would be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'd get all the armor back. Just play my game. Just play my game.
You know, one of the weirdest things, like I said, I genuinely don't remember asking for a Wii for Christmas, but we got it. Yeah. And one thing I remember about that specific Christmas is that whole holiday, like for whatever reason, like my dad was in and out of the hospital for like months. Like it started with I do not remember what happened first, but whatever happened required him to get a cast on his right leg. And he had that on from like October to like mid-November. And then when he went to go get it cut off, I remember the person who put his cast on put it on too tight. So basically he was developing these blood clots in his leg. So basically as soon as they cut that cast off, those blood clots just shot through his leg. And he was in the hospital for that for about maybe 2 weeks in early December rather. So around Christmas time, he was just getting home. He's still on stilts and he's just laying down, keeping his leg elevated. And one of his friends actually came to stay with us to basically like just cook and do all that shit and just be there and make him feel better. And that was the year that we got the Wii. And I legitimately remember just like this man, I've known this man my entire life. I do not know his government name. I just know that my dad calls him Kool-Aid. So he's Mr. Kool-Aid to me. But it was me, my dad, my mom, and Mr. Kool-Aid. And it was like, dog, like you have never, like I legitimately to this day, I can tell you I have not put more hours into any game on the Wii more than Wii Sports. And the second closest game is probably Wii Sports Resort. Because my parents bought me a Wii, but you could tell that they didn't know dick about the games coming out for it. Because actually, I can look right. Actually, fuck looking. I'll grab them. I love that I can just scoot over and grab my games. That's why I keep all my games physical. So, okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So all the games I ever owned for the Nintendo Wii are 7 games. I have them all in my hands. The games they got me when I got them: Transformers the game.
Okay.
Awful game. It was one of the classic, like the movie, the game games.
Yeah.
Terrible game. They got me Wii Play.
It's not as good as Wii Sports.
Not as good as Wii Sports. Not even close. Of course, it was Wii Sports, but then they gravitated to Wii Sports Resort.
Banger, because it had swordplay.
It did. Another the movie, the game they got me was Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, the movie, the game. This was the first failure of a Fantastic Four franchise from Marvel. This game was absolutely terrible. Now, the only 3 decent games I had for the Wii was Godzilla Unleashed. This shit was tight. It was one of the best.
Yeah.
It still is, in my opinion, one of the best Godzilla games ever come out.
Okay.
Sonic and the Secret Rings.
That's a banger right there. If not music alone, I will die on a cross defending that game.
Sonic and the Secret Rings was a pretty dope game, and I bought it for like $12.
It's about how much it's worth. Real talk.
This next game is my favorite Wii game of all time. It is Pokemon Battle Revolution.
You got it.
Now, let me explain. Okay, so let me explain, right? Let me explain. You just said there was a time where having a DS in your pocket was like a street pass. So I want to take you back to about 2006, 2007. So spring break was coming up, and I was in the 5th or 6th grade, right? So I had just gotten a gift card for my parents because apparently I was doing good in school or something, and I had enough to get one game, right? So I went to Best Buy and I got Pokemon Battle Revolution because at the time what was hot was Pokemon Diamond and Pearl on the original DS. So what my plan was like, man, I have Pokemon, all my friends that live around me got Pokemon, and the reason I wanted Battle Revolution is because you could bring people over your house, right? And I had the Wii. The Wii was the only console that wasn't hooked up like in my room. It was on the big TV in the living room. So I was like, okay, if all my friends can come over, we can have like tag battles and have like everyone's individual DS. They can use their Pokemon from their game, but it'll show up in full 3D on the TV with fully animated moves. Pokemon Battle Revolution was the first game. Well, not the first. I guess there's still Pokemon Stadium and XD and all that did that. But like it was the first game where you could like do that remote without having to like have a bunch of cables and stuff and link cables and like a GameCube, you know, or a Game Boy like attachment to the GameCube and all that. It was the first one, and it was tight. I loved it. I loved doing Wi-Fi battles. I loved it. It was it was genuinely one of my favorite Pokemon games. I like that concept. And now that we have Wi-Fi and online, it's kind of convoluted, you know, to do something like that now. But back then, it was tight. But I say all that to say, I never played a real game for the Wii, I guess you could say. Like, I never played Brawl. I didn't play like any of the Zeldas that came out. I didn't play any of the Mario games that came out for the Wii. Like, even the Wii U.
I'll tell you right now, there was only 2 games for the Wii that I had that I didn't have until end of the Wii's lifetime. And I was upset that I didn't play them sooner.
Was one Xenoblade Chronicles?
No, it wasn't. You know why? That game, to this day, is still too damn expensive. And it's got 3 remasters. Or 2 remasters.
One
Xenoblade
remaster.
Chronicles is... Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 1 has a remaster on the 3DS and the Switch.
On the 3DS?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that.
Exactly. But it did have a port to this.
Wait, what you mean it's still too expensive?
Xenoblade Chronicles 1, like today, like if I went to Game Exchange, is like still $40-something.
How's that expensive? On the Switch?
If a new game, no, on the Wii.
Oh, then just get the Switch one.
Well, yeah, but I mean the Switch one's still $60.
It's a AAA title.
I mean, I guess. I mean, look. Xenoblade Chronicles is okay. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is my shit. Xenoblade Chronicles X is still the OG of all time. But you know, that's not what I'm talking about. Game I'm talking about is No More Heroes 1 and 2.
Oh my god.
You want to talk about stellar gameplay, a fun time, an enjoyable character on a console you didn't think had time for rated M games.
Yeah.
No More Heroes 1 and 2, Desperate Struggle.
You know, I did just think of something.
Mad World was also a really good Sega game that was rated M.
One of the best Christmas gifts I ever got was Capcom vs. SNK 2 for the GameCube.
Okay.
Because I was one of those kids that grew up and, you know, like you said, you don't remember a lot of your gifts because your birthday and Christmas are like kind of like right after each other.
Yeah.
I remember mine because my birthday's in August and Christmas is in December. And I was one of those kids where it's like you said, as a kid, when you don't have money or a job or you can't get a job and things like that, you only get the things you want like twice a year. Your birthday and Christmas, and maybe a third if you're lucky, because my parents used to get me crazy shit for Easter sometimes. But
I always got basketballs for Easter.
I remember one Easter they got me the they got me a Yugi and a Kaiba starter deck, original starter deck in like 2002 for Easter, and then Christmas they turned around and got me Pegasus and Joey, and I'm like, see, this is that shit. But
my mom got me a Pegasus starter deck because she thought the Toon monsters were better than the regular one, which, in a sense, is true.
Nah, man, 2002 Yu-Gi-Oh, what a time.
Summon Skull.
But I was a kid that mainly did all of my gaming in like arcades and skating rings. Like I was the kid where it's like I didn't get my first console until I was like 5. And I was a GameCube, and before that, all I had was a Game Boy. So there were a lot of games I did not get to play. You know, I missed out on a lot of the early PlayStation 1 games. I missed out on like the Xbox games. Like I didn't play Halo until like maybe high school because we were putting it on all the computers and shit. And then it's like I didn't play Final Fantasy 7 until I was about 7 years old, and it was you know, widely available because I had cousins with PlayStations, but I was a Nintendo kid, so I didn't get exposed to as many of the fighting games through Nintendo as I did through like the arcades. But I never really got to go to arcades all the time because the best one was one that used to be downtown, and it's far gone now. Like they tore it down eons ago, but ever since then my school would take us skating every Tuesday. You know, they would hit us with the, all right, look, you gotta skate for 45 minutes and then after that you can do whatever the hell you want. So I would skate. Soon as that fucking bell dung, I fucking jet set radioed my ass all the way over to the arcade, and what I would do is I would play Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Capcom vs. SNK 2, and they had this Mega Man game that I could never remember the name of, and maybe you will. It was the Mega Man game where it was a cabinet, and you basically went around fighting the different robot masters, and it was like 4-player or 2-player. You could play as like Mega Man, Zack, and Proto Man. And I don't remember what it was, but they had that and House of the Dead 2. So what I would do is I lived on Capcom vs. SNK 2 and Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I would just play and play and play and play. And I got to a point where it was like nobody can fuck with Jason.
Mega Man Power Battle.
Mega Man Power Battle was my shit. Fun fact, the last time I played that was 2 years ago at an arcade / bar with my drunk girlfriend. But I
was about to say, I was like, why does that sound so familiar?
Yeah, but basically it got to a point where like we went to this one kid. He had a birthday party at this place on like a Saturday, and it was in December. And they were running a special where it's like if you beat the skating ring owner in the game of your choice, you get a free pizza.
Ooh.
And I'm like,
say less.
I had tried every week at school and I couldn't do it. Like I became like, it was infamous, right? Like I kind of felt like Kaiba. I could beat everyone at school
except Yugi,
but I can't beat the guy that owns the place. I went to this kid, and he apparently he wasn't like when we went for school, he expected me. He didn't expect to be here. So I showed up, and he was like, "Hey, what's going on, little man?" And like he was cool and all. We played. I shit you not. I beat him. Like, don't get it twisted. I was not a prodigy. I was a button mashing kid. I was just better at button mashing than the other kids at my school.
Mm-hmm.
But I legitimately started looking at the moves on the shit and learning the moves, and I beat his ass. We'll never forget it. I beat him with Blackheart, I beat him with Mega Man, Blackheart, and Hayato. Won that free pizza, and that kid thought that free pizza was for him because it was his birthday. And he actually tried to have his mom get me in trouble for winning it, and the dude was like, no, he earned that from something else. But basically, it caused a big scene. They told my mom about it. And what triggered all this was my parents started buying me fighting games to play at home.
So this
just because
happen.
of that. Yeah, so this wouldn't happen again. So they got me Capcom versus SNK 2 for Christmas.
Hilarious. That really is like an anime starter. Like that's anime pilot right there. He won a pizza party when he was like 10. So his parents started buying him games to play, and he turned out to be a prodigy.
But yeah,
now
man.
he goes to tournaments all over the world.
Like I said, man, like we don't get games for Christmas very much anymore because like we're grown, we can buy our own fucking games. But like, it still is nice when you get one because like I will say it's one like now we're in a place where some games are just hard to find. Like, for example, Mega Man ZX and Mega Man Zero and ZX collection, like I couldn't find it for a long time. And I just gave up on finding it. And for me and my girlfriend's anniversary, she was just like, hey, the GameStop by my house had one, so I went and got it for you. And I'm like, see, that's why I love you. You know, shit like that. Like, and I could tell, like, again, this isn't Christmas, but like I gifted her a Switch. And it made her game again. So like I love gifting games for Christmas. It's just nowadays it's hard because like a lot of times if people want a game, they'll just buy them. But still, Christmas is still a dope time to get somebody a game, especially like you've got time off, especially if you're in college. You got like a hella time off.
Man, I remember it was one year. I was like, obviously, like I'm still a big Sonic fan, but like when I was a kid, I was like a super big Sonic fan.
Yeah.
There was this old arcade I went to. Now, obviously, this like really shows our ages, but it's like there was this old arcade I went to, and it had a Sega UFO claw machine.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and
you like unlocked a memory I forgot I had.
And so, in the machine, and this was right around Sonic Adventure Battle 2 came out. So there was Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and Shadow. I wanted the Shadow because at the time Shadow was the coolest character in the world. And it was me and a friend of mine at the time. And he was trying, and and he wanted to get the Sonic. So I put in my coins, playing the game, and I'm like, well, I want the Shadow. So I grabbed the Shadow's leg. I ended up grabbing a Sonic leg. And it was like destiny, right?
Yeah.
I turn around, my mom's like, oh, that's cool. Where'd you get it? And I was like, I got it from the Claw Machine game. And she's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Do you like that? And I was like, yeah, he's my favorite character of all time. This changes every year. That Christmas, because I want to say that was a vacation trip we took to Florida. Like, I think we went to like Disney World or Disneyland, whichever one's down there. And it was the one with Universal Studios is next to it.
That's Disneyland. Disney World is in California.
California? Okay, right. So fast forward to Christmas. My mom had bought me Sonic Adventure Battle 2 because I didn't have it. I had it at a friend's house. Bought me Sonic Adventure Battle 2 and had bought me like 3 Sonic the Hedgehog magazines.
Correction, Disney World is in Florida. Disneyland is in California.
Okay. But she had bought me the Sonic the Hedgehog comics because she had saw that they were a thing and she knew I liked reading comics. And she's like, I couldn't find any with the black one on the cover, but I figured it's still Sonic, so you would like it. I think I legitimately cried that Christmas because I was like the happiest I'd ever been over some comic books. Yeah, and my wife's telling me in the kitchen, she's like, and I'm over here getting Neopets and shit. Well, I was like, but like it's such a, like, we're a product of our time. Like,
100%.
Like if my mom, like, real talk, all the cards on the table, if my mom got me a PS5 for Christmas, I might cry again because it's been years since my mom has bought me a video game or anything closely related to one.
I'm gonna keep it a stag with you. One of the funniest shits.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things that has become a like yearly occurrence. Well, obviously not this year with COVID, but me and my girlfriend going to GameStop because we both of us love physical games, so we love picking up like the used game deals to fill out our backlog for Switch games and just other stuff.
Yeah.
And we love standing in line and hearing parents not know what the fuck they're asking for. And I'll never forget, this lady was in line and this guy comes up and is like, hey, can I help you? He's like, yeah, my son wants this one game for Christmas. He wants GTA. Do you know what GTA is? Like she's enunciating it to other people, and he's like, yeah, I know what GTA is. I just want to let you know that this game does have drugs, violence, hookers. You actually can go into a strip club and just kill all the hookers. You can have sex with prostitutes and all that. Giving him the. Oh, she's like, oh no, he's not getting that game. And it's like, it's funny because like parents have no fucking idea what their like kids like. Like they don't know shit. Like they just say, I want this, and they get them that. But like this year, if your mom got you like a PS5, like especially like, first of all, it's impossible to get a fucking PS5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now let me ask you this for the culture.
Yeah, what's up?
How would you feel if she got you a PS5, but she got it from a scalper, and she paid like $1,200 for it?
Okay. I'd probably
you didn't think about that, did you?
No, but I'd probably find a way to at least pay half of that because I'm not letting that slide. But my mom knows her way around the interwebs. Like she's bought video games and know what she was doing for years. Like my cousins aren't any different. Like she knows what she's doing. Like legitimately, she's been doing it long enough. She knows to get away. She knows about scalpers. She's bought her game tickets from people like them. So I have no doubt that she would know her way around a situation like that. But I don't know, man. Like my mom's pulled off some crazy feats in my lifetime. Like I told you, like when you saw my TV for the first time, I was like, I asked my mom straight up, and I was like, hey, I know you're really good at Black Friday shopping. Could you get me like a new TV? Like I'd really appreciate it. Like if you need me to do some work around the house or just pay you back, like that'd be just dope. If you could just get me like a new TV. And she's like, well, what kind of TV do you want? And I was like, honestly, anything above like 50 inches, honestly. It doesn't even have to be a smart TV. It doesn't have to be 4K. I would just like a bigger TV for my apartment. All right. Turns around, gets a 4K TV. Now it's not a smart TV, but we've since rectified that with a Roku. But I mean,
my dad does the same shit, man.
Like to turn around and be like, say less, I got you. And she had it delivered to my house or to my apartment. And she's like, there you go. She's like, don't worry about it. I have to have some magic abilities. Like, let me keep my tech to myself. So that's why, like, it's not for me who has asked my mom like video game stuff, and she's like the one person I know for a fact does not have a problem with like figuring out what I want. It's usually because I tell her like exactly like to the T, like this is what I want, this is what it looks like, this is what it's for. She only has one kid to worry about. I've been for the last 6 years, I've been the only child in the immediate family. Well, until 6 years ago, I was the only child. So, like, I don't know. She's had the ability to just get it. So I wouldn't be surprised. But I'd be extremely impressed. I'd probably cry.
No, you ain't gonna cry till you see Miles in 4K.
That's
see now here's the thing, right? We was talking about this. You went and got Miles, you went ahead and got the game because you knew you couldn't wait. And then you go down here, your black ass is you go sit down and play that whole game over again on the PS5 in 4K.
I'll do it again. I'll fucking do it again.
And then that's another thing. You'll be one of the people that can play a game in 4K and actually tell because you got a 4K TV.
Yeah. Oh man. No, I'm not gonna get excited over this because I don't know if it's true or not.
I am willing to bet anything I can afford.
No, I don't want you to do
What
that.
else would she gas up like that?
I don't know.
Would she get you a car?
No.
A house? Like what would you gas? What else is there to gas up like that? I just hit my fucking bike.
So she is thinking of moving in May, so I would be getting her house.
She got you a fucking sealed copy of Gale of Darkness. Dust off you.
Like Pokemon, so
I heard you like Spider-Man, so I got you the original trilogy on Blu-ray.
That would actually be kind of sick. I'm not even gonna lie. Like if she got me like a Spider-Man collection, that has like the first 3 movies, the 2 Amazing, and then the last 2, and then like Venom, and it had like a slot. Yeah, and Spider-Verse, and it had like a slot for 3 when it comes out. I'm not gonna lie, that would be
sick. Like just take the Andrew Garfield ones and throw them backwards.
I mean, no, let's not. But like, that would be that. I'd be fucking bragging.
You would cry over it though.
I would. I'd be like, this is do like a backflip,
bruh. But yeah, we closed it on an hour. I think that's good enough for the holiday one.
Yeah, it's good to like for this year to have been as whack as it has been.
It's been pretty lit for gaming.
It's been pretty lit for video games. Even if it good, bad, the fire's been burning no matter what.
Yeah, true.
But if anything to take away from this, especially from this podcast that we've been doing, this is episode 34.
Yeah.
Been doing this for 34 weeks.
Yeah.
That is a good chunk of the year. Hug who you can, talk to who you can, enjoy who you can. Obviously, we're not going away. We're easily going to be in here for a while. I don't want to give us a date. I don't want to give us like an end date. But
my goal for 2021 is I want 100 concurrent listeners.
Hey, that'd be dope. My goal for 2021. I don't know, man, because like I would say streaming, but like that might be illegal soon.
As I say, we got to go back to content creation. Can't stream no more. No, here's the thing, bro. We can stream. We just have to make it 1 billion% like something nobody can
copyright
DMCA us for. Yeah. Like it sucks you don't play Magic. We can stream that all day long.
Yeah.
Especially now that we have a way to play Commander over the internet, which is really weird, right? I've played more Magic in quarantine than I have like when we weren't in a pandemic.
I don't want to say maybe I should get back into Magic because I feel like Jamie would get on.
To get what?
I feel like she would get on to me. And she's like, don't do that.
I mean, it's really not. It's as much money as you want to spend.
I know that.
Especially when you know people that would just give you a deck just so you could play with it.
True. But like, I don't know. I think I don't want to say something corny is like I want to play more games, but I do want to play more games.
I just want to get into my backlog.
Like, real talk. Like, I keep buying shit for my Switch and I don't play it.
Okay, hold on. All right.
I keep buying video games for my Switch and I don't fucking play them.
I bought a $60 game that I booted up one time, and as soon as I did, I'm like, I don't want to play this game. I want to play something else.
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Same, man. I think I got like 3 hours in that game. And
I have less than it. I just don't like the Cockney accents. I don't like I know the issue. I'm looking and I'm like, I don't see the X. Where's the X? Where's the mech? Where's the flavor?
There's 2 X's in this game.
Yeah, there's only one.
And one in the middle and one at the end.
And here's the thing, right? You can't find a copy of 2 to save your fucking life. I would like to play that game. Look, bruh. That game is kind of boring.
I agree.
Now, I also tried Dragon Quest. It's a good game. The only issue is that it's got the same issue that half all the fucking JRPGs have, that the level spike is crazy. And they don't give you a way to grind optimally.
I agree.
So, but keep that in mind, because next episode, if let me check my calendar here. Next episode, the audio version will drop on the 30th, and the video version will drop on January 1st, 2021. And we next week are going to do our top 5 games
of all time
of 2020.
Yikes. I gotta start making my list now.
I already have mine. Spoiler alert, are they all JRPGs?
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
Fantasy 7 at least in the 1 or 2 slot.
Yes.
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 Is Sephiroth's One Winged Angel remix playing, battling out like any number of songs from Persona 5 Royal? Yes.
You could probably guess 2. Actually, you've already guessed 2 of them, but you probably won't be able to guess the next 3. But but yeah. But anyways, do what?
Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
That was last year.
Man, that really was.
That came out in 2019.
It was Astral Chain.
That also came out in 2019.
It was the police force theme.
Oh no. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this episode. You guys know the drill. If you enjoy the content, make sure that you rate us 5 stars on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Make sure if you're listening to the video version, then you hit us with a like, subscribe, and comment, and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you get notified every time a new episode comes out. You already know Wednesdays you get the audio version at 4 p.m. Central Time, and on Fridays you get the video version at 4 p.m. Central Time. But until next time, this has been the In Game Grind Podcast. We appreciate all of you. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and happy New Year, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Happy holidays.